Hey everyone, this is Cathy from the intimacydojo.com, here with Reid from readaboutsex.com.
I'm being really weird in these videos this round.
You are.
I know. What's
Yeah.
with that?
I gave you too much coffee.
Ooh.
That's probably it.
Now you have to hold space for me.
Okay. So if I wanted to hold space for my partner, how would I do that?
Don't give them more coffee.
You're cut off.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so holding space kind of goes like this. What I notice in relationships, and even in my relationships, when somebody gets triggered or is having a bad day or emotional or whatever that is, the analogy being somebody just, threw, the shit hit the fan because they took their bucket and threw it on the fan. Most of us get reactive, and then we grab our bucket, and we throw it on the fan.
And it cycles.
Yeah.
It builds on each other.
And if you're competitive, you're like, really? That's not a bucket of shit. This is a. What I recommend is you're training yourself first on how to hold space for yourself.
Right.
So the analogy is when the shit hits the fan, you go over and you unplug the fan. Giving yourself something to do that's constructive, even though this is an analogy. In unplugging the fan, you're not reacting.
Right.
You're going into, task mode. So first things first is when you need to hold space for your partner, realizing, okay, I'm going to go into holding space rather than reactive mode.
Right.
Inside of holding space, part of it is you acknowledging to yourself if and when you get triggered. So my partner is, we somehow we get into an argument. They're very upset. I may be upset, but basically I'm just kind of being in a little bit in my own head. The way that I do it is I talk to myself and I'm like, wow, I'm really upset. And I just keep breathing and being present with them. What I'm trying to do in holding space for them is, one, not get more reactive,
right. Not add to the
and
flames.
dumping it into their space. So I'm just trying to remain calm, remain present. So I'm paying attention to what they're saying, listening to what they're saying, trying to recreate it, and basically being like, oh, okay, wow.
I hear you saying this.
I hear you saying this. Am I clear in what you're saying? It sounds like you're really, sad, or it sounds like you're really angry at me. Tell me more. And what you're doing most of the time is you're just being there for them and encouraging them to let more out.
It's hard to do, but it's very loving on the receiving end. When I'm angry or upset and someone can just hear me and say, tell me more, rather than blaming me or being angry or reactive, there's a great deal of intimacy built into that. Like afterwards, I'm like, oh, I really trust that person. I can be myself, and they're going to be okay with it.
Yeah, and what you're doing is you're kind of basically adopting the stance that nothing's wrong. Now, this is, of course, like if there's physical violence or emotional abuse happening, that's not what I mean, right? You're like, oh, okay, you're crying or you're, angry. This is okay that you're that way. And the reason you know that this is okay is by once you get the hang of this, holding space for your partner, they go through their emotional cycle faster. And then you can, once you get the hang of it, you're like, oh, everything is okay, because rather than this fight lasting 2 hours, by me not being reactive, I can actually hear you. You calm down. Maybe it takes 20 minutes because some people get so juiced up on endorphins and body chemistry that it takes 15 to 20 minutes for that stuff to kind of start to subside. So I know that if I can keep my shit together for 20 minutes, you'll get over the hump of it, and there's a new possibility that happens. So, if you've never been able to experience this, then hopefully us talking about it, you're like, oh, okay, I can try to do that. Once you've actually pulled this off once or twice, and that's on a good day, on a bad day, I'm just as reactive. I'm like, I'll bring 2 buckets of shit. Hang on, let me get a bigger fan. But once you get the hang of this and you see the results, then it's actually, on a good day, you're like, I can do this. Because now I'm also supporting my partner. and
You're
things
modeling so they can be supportive for you.
things get better quicker. If you're upset because somebody else is upset, you're not human. I mean, well, you're human because you're upset, but realize that in any relationships, you guys are going to have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
You're just having a bad day right now.
And you may find that there's certain topics where the trigger I have really triggers my partner's trigger, like it hits them. And if that happens, get some coaching, get someone to walk through, someone else to hold space for you guys.
Yeah.
So you can like, oh, now I can hear her because he's feeding it. Reid's done that beautifully for us. He's held space and like, okay, what is that person actually saying? Oh, okay, now I can hear it because I'm not so caught up in my, oh my God, I'm a bad person. You're saying I'm not good in a relationship. Kind of thing.
And then the last bit I'll close on is the idea that it's okay if you don't have the bandwidth to hold space to tell your partner, however it's going to come out for you in words, but like right now I don't have the resources to be able to hold space for you. Can you give me 20 minutes to come back and I can be with you, or can we do this can I hold space for you tomorrow, or is there something I can do for you that would leave you feeling loved, honored, and cherished right now that I can do that I'm capable of, rather than me like sitting here for you for the next 20 minutes? Because sometimes there's a baby crying, or you have an appointment,
or you're just depleted. You're emotional.
Yeah.
You had a rotten day and you just don't have the energy to be there.
It's not that you're being a dick, but you're just being honest, and you're like, if I tried to do this right now, I would get triggered and we would both spiral. Sometimes a partner really doesn't need space holding as much as they just need to be seen and know that you're not leaving them.
No, they're important. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.